Good day, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm going to have a little conversation here, a little topic about life insurance 101. So misunderstood. Let me tell you a story. Well, you might be wondering, why would I talk about life insurance? Well, part of that is the fact that, that's part of what I do for a living. I mostly do a lot of financial planning, but the root of all financial planning is life insurance. And I feel it's something that's very misunderstood, especially by people, and some of the comments that I've gotten over the years and just recently, and figured it is something that, deserves a little bit of time and a little bit of attention for people to understand why life insurance is so important for your life and why it is a foundation for proper planning, no matter who you are. So I'll tell you a little bit of a story about how life insurance can make a difference in your life. Today, you and I, we don't have a clue that if we get into a vehicle and we're driving down the road, whether or not we're going to make it home safely. Most people don't realize that most motor vehicle fatalities happen within 2 blocks of your destination, whether that be home or where you're going to arrive. Why is that? Well, people get comfortable. Right? We're on our way home. We're thinking, oh, we're only a couple blocks away from the house. We kind of get lax in our thought processes when we're driving and we're thinking, oh, we're just about home. We're not necessarily paying attention. Next thing you know, somebody comes across an intersection. Maybe it's our fault or it's their fault, and we get T-boned and we're dead. And our loved ones are left to, hold the burden of the loss of income that you provide, or possibly, just the fact that you're so important besides income, even though that's the number one asset we all have and we don't realize, is the lack of income loss for our spouse or our loved ones is huge, right? Not to mention the fact that your loss of income, now all of a sudden they can't pay the mortgage on the house, they can't pay the bills, they can't do many, many things. And I'll talk about a little bit about on how it affects both genders. So let's say husband and wife, will use a couple situation, or maybe a husband, is bringing in a vast majority of the income. The wife's at home. She's got a job too. She's raising the children, taking care of the home, which is just as important as the man going out and bringing in the income. But hers is a silent income, meaning she's not necessarily making income, but she's saving the household income by not having to have the kids in daycare, day home, or paying somebody else to watch them, or having to have a housekeeper take care of the house, or somebody, just to do the daily things around the home that are so important. So her value is just as great. So we'll talk about first though. So remember this. Remember what I was just saying about the woman staying home. Sometimes it's the men too. I have circumstances, just as a side note, for clients where the woman works and the man stays home and raises the kids. So the man passes away. All of a sudden, the number one income that's coming into the house is gone. And without life insurance, how are those bills going to be paid? What? You're going to go to your family, your friends, beg for help to pay the bills? Yet if life insurance was in place, now all of a sudden that lost income is covered. Possibly, if it's enough of an insurance policy, a home can be paid off and debt removed out of their lives. Maybe some put away for, the education purposes of their children, etc., etc. So very unselfish need, right? And people don't realize that life insurance is very cost effective. Depending on your health, depending on your age, it doesn't cost as much as people think. Yet people will go out on a daily basis and go get a Starbucks, or in Canada, Tim Hortons coffee as well. And Tim Hortons obviously exists in the US and certain states as well. But they'll go out and spend $5 a day, $10 a day getting a bagel and a coffee, or a donut and a bagel. They'll spend $10 a day. Yet they won't think about spending a third of that, or maybe less, to get coverage on their loved ones, to cover the fact of their number one asset they have is the ability to make income and bring that income home to pay their mortgage on their house, to pay their bills, to be able to just live life. all of a sudden now you're gone, and your significant other that's still alive is now faced with huge burdens by not having your income. So flip it the other way. What happens if a man loses his wife who is raising the kids at home, right? Or who is taking care of them? Or even if they're both working and the woman passes away, both of their incomes were used to pay the bills because maybe they lived by the means of both incomes. So now one income is gone, the other income is expected to support what two incomes were supporting. Let's say again back to the fact that maybe one of them is a stay-at-home parent, whether it's man or a woman, in a lot of cases it is a woman, is taking care of the kids at home and the man's out working. Now all of a sudden he loses his significant other and he has to hire a nanny. Or let's say the loss of life is so grief-stricken for him that he can't work. What is he going to do? Gets a week off from work like a lot of companies give to grieve? Who can grieve in a freaking week? And you need to go out and you still have to make ends meet, yet you can't think properly. Maybe you don't perform properly at your job. Maybe you lose your job, whatever the case may be. But if there was enough life insurance in place and your significant other was covered and they pass away, now you have income to cover what they did in your life. Take care of the kids, right? Or if they were an income producer as well in regards to being outside the home, you don't have to suffer because of the loss of their income, which was their asset to provide to your family life, like both of your family lives. I hope this makes sense why life insurance is so imperative. You lose one or the other one can't grieve. They have to continue to work. They can't take any time off from work, right? Or they need to hire somebody to take care of the kids, either or, whether it's a man or a woman. You know what? The loss of one income is huge. It's insurmountable for most families unless they have protection in place. And really, for pennies on the dollar, it really is so cost effective to put life insurance in place to protect your loved ones, to protect your asset of your home so that they still have a roof over their heads. I could tell you so many scary stories where I know of one story where, and it's a valid story, where a woman with 2 kids, husband passed away, there was no life protection, had to move in with their parents because they didn't have anything. They weren't able to hold on to the house because they were at home taking care of the kids. And all of a sudden now there's no income protection via life insurance. There was nothing to continue to pay to keep the house. They had to lose their property, had to move in with their parents and start all over. Nothing, no money, nothing to help them possibly go back to school and get a career if they didn't have a career. You know, it is just scary what people don't know and they need to know. So if you want to understand, it don't matter if you live in anywhere in North America, you know, in the US or Canada, I can educate you about the principles of life insurance and help you figure it out. I may not be able to help you get the product depending on where you live, but I can certainly educate you so now that you have more knowledge and so you're able to go out and seek somebody in your local community to help you get that product in place to protect your loved ones, right? Again, you could leave your house today, just drive 2 blocks away to the grocery store to get a coffee, and there's no guarantee you're going to make it home, is there? Right? There's no guarantees. But there is a guarantee if you do things the right way and put some life insurance in place on yourself, your significant other, right? That at least the burden of your loss will not be financial, right? Now it'll just be the grieving process and you having the ability to move forward and not have to worry about the money aspects of it. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Thanks to all of you that are on the video, or pardon me, watching me live. Hi, Bailey. Hi, Nellie. Hey, Mark. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Raphael. Sorry, so many people that scroll by on my feed here. If I missed you, I really appreciate you, though. DM me, drop me a comment. I appreciate you watching. And thanks, Mark, for your comment. No one needs financial tragedy on top of emotional tragedy. You are so right. And I'm so passionate about life insurance. If you ever come to or have ever seen any of you, some of my workshops that I do, I get pretty passionate. I have a lot of relatable stories of how the lack of life insurance has destroyed families, right? And it is something that they don't get over easily. And it goes on and on and on. Now all of a sudden they have a loss of life and loss of finances. It is horrific and terrible. God bless you all. Peace out. I really appreciate you all following me and supporting me on this journey of mine to share and help others. Not just about insurance or finance, but just, my life lessons. God bless.